Just looking for kind of an update on James and if you have any kind of clarity on it.
Yeah. James is, I mean, I think is just we're being overly cautious, heavy stretch of games, and expect him to play Wednesday. I don't think so, no. I don't think it's that necessary.
Obviously, there's a lot of guys out there now. It's really not much kind of challenge to see both of you guys.
Yeah, aggressive scorer at all three levels. You know, shooting the three well. Loves his mid-range pull-up and is, you know, an athletic skill guard who can get to the rim as well. So definitely need to be prepared and accept the challenge there.
Any kind of minutes limit tonight?
I wouldn't say a minutes limit, but obviously we'd love it if we could limit his minutes and not you know, overburden him with the long trip in between games.
Chauncey was just up here a couple minutes ago and said that Kyrie is the most skilled point guard he's ever seen. First of all, do you agree with that?
Yeah, it's hard to argue. I mean, you know, there's others in the conversation. Obviously, Steph is, you know, incredibly skilled, but it just so deadly from long range in a variety of ways. But as far as like the ball handling, the movement, getting to his spots and shooting at all three levels around the rim, he's off the charts. Getting to the mid range, he's off the charts, and he's excellent from deep as well.
I've asked you so much about how the adjustment of getting Kyrie back in the fold will be for you guys. As a former player, now a coach, what kind of challenges that for teams that you're going against, that you've got this guy who is an unbelievable player that you can kind of drop in at various points and they've got to prepare that with?
Well, I imagine it's more difficult to prepare for us on the road when we have him. I mean, he's obviously an electric player who's capable of so many things on the court, and adding him to our group makes everyone better. So, you know, I think it is a bigger challenge for teams when they have to face us with Kyrie.
Do you expect Kyrie, you know, at this point, you were talking about wanting to get him around 30 minutes. You obviously went over that the last game. At this point, are you not limiting his minutes at all? I mean,
yeah.
Regular Kyrie? Yeah,
more or less. You know, you know, it'd be great if we didn't have to get him up to 40 tonight. If we could handle it at the same time, you know, I think he's got the bulk of his preparation in his legs and is ready to play as much as needed.
Well, if he's only playing road games, I mean, feel more free to kind of push him that boundary that you wouldn't if you ostensibly 82 games.
Yes and no. Yes, but not necessarily, you know, with another game in Chicago in 2 nights. You know, like that's always something to be careful of. You don't want to play him 44 minutes tonight. Then he's got to turn around and play a big game on Wednesday. So, you know, we'll play him more minutes. But we would love for it to be a gradual and a strategic, you know, allocation of minutes, not just like, all right, great, we got a new Ferrari and we're gonna rack up the miles.
Do you think Steve Marcus potentially being able to play Wednesday with his foot?
I don't think he's going to join us on this trip. No.
Just talked a little bit ago about wanting to keep Kevin's minutes down. Do you worry about overuse with him as it gets towards the playoffs, or do you just kind of accept it with the situation? You know, all these guys in and out of protocol, guys being available, not being available, that any kind of load management is just right now.
Probably towards what you just said. You know, I mean, it'd be great to have Kevin play 32 minutes a night and keep him really fresh. The reality is we probably need him to play more. He wants to play more. And so we try to pick our spots in other ways. You know, he misses a game here and there to make up for the higher minutes.
Steve, what did it say about Kane's personality that in that moment yesterday takes the ball from Kevin Durant and gets that kind of shot at the end of the game?
Well, he knows where the basket is, that's for sure. You know, we told him in the timeout. We drew up the play for Kevin. I said, Cam, they're going to come off you, and you should be ready to make a play. And, you know, he was ready. And, you know, we know that that's the type of confidence he has scoring the ball. Still easier said than done. And he stepped in and made a big shot.
Talk about confidence. In Nick's case specifically, has that been the biggest step forward that he can take? I mean, obviously he's on the court.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first thing he has access to bail. But as the biggest step forward for him, kind of just been confident
I think the one before that would be availability and then fitness. He seems like he can play at a higher level longer. And that's got to give you a lot of confidence. It's definitely given us more confidence in him. He's playing with more intensity. He's able to get into actions quicker offensively. He's more diligent and effective defensively when he's got better kind of stamina and endurance. So I think that's the one between availability and confidence is his increased endurance. From the look and feel. I haven't actually spoke to performance about the data, but I think we'd all agree in this room. It looks like he's taken a step as far as his endurance and durability.
Michael Grady on Zoom.
Coach, I know you want to take it one game at a time, but curious your thoughts overall on the week ahead. 4 and 5 days, 5 and 7 days, and 6 games in 9 days.
Yeah. You can really overthink these things. So I think it's really important for us just to take it day by day right now. I know it's a cliche, but I think that is the smartest way to approach this. When you start to mess with it and predetermine how you're going to approach the games, in our league, we're so not used to doing that I don't think it works out when you try to, it can, but more times than not in our league with the dense schedule, if you try to, like I said, predetermine the way you're going to approach these games too seriously, I think it can backfire more times than not. So for us, we're coming out of a rough period where we haven't played well. We've just got out of COVID. We're trying to find our confidence again. We got back to playing a little defense against San Antonio. Let's build on it and let's take this day by day and see what tonight brings and see if we can rise to the challenge after a long flight.
Steve, there was a newspaper report on Friday that Joe could be reaching on court stages or ramp up this.
Yeah.
Back on. Do you see him?
Yeah, I don't think he's on the court yet. So I don't know that. I didn't read the report, so I'm not sure what the context was, but I don't think so.
Bruce back on Zoom.
Hey, Steve, what's the challenge of meshing lineups? You've had so many different ones this year, and for the foreseeable future, you're going to have a different one home and away.
Yeah, I think we've had plenty of practice at it, so it shouldn't be too foreign for us. We've had different guys in and out of the lineup for over a year now, and we've, I think, handled that very well. In fact, our toughest period this season is when we've had the most guys available. So I think we're adept at kind of handling the change and, the different availabilities amongst our players. And typically our group stayed ready and been able to plug and play and still find success. So I think we're probably, if we're realistic, or that's what the path ahead will probably be as well, especially on the road. With Kyrie and at home, we'll have different issues, but again, a great puzzle to figure out, and let's try to use it as an opportunity to learn about ourselves and figure out different things that maybe we wouldn't if we were in a position of perfect health throughout the season.
Thanks, Steve.
All right.